stories in a moment, but first, breaking news. Tsunami watches right now upgraded to warnings in parts of Alaska and British Columbia after a powerful earthquake off Alaska. We've got updated measurements say a 7.9 magnitude quake hit southeast of Kodiak in the Gulf of Alaska.
Tsunami watches in effect up and down the west coast and Hawaii. CNN's Ivan Cabrera live in the CNN Weather Center. Good morning. What do we know?
Yeah, Dave, good morning. And in fact, the warnings extend through British Columbia, and we actually have watches that continue all the way down to San Diego, although, of course, there it would take a longer time for the waves to arrive. What do we have? Well, a 7.9. It's actually down from what originally this was recorded as, which was an 8.2. That would be a great earthquake. That doesn't sound like a lot of difference, but in earthquake world, it certainly is as far as the magnitude. The depth is also important. You don't want a shallow depth, and though 15 and a half miles may sound like it's deep, it's actually not. It's relatively shallow, and that's important because the displacement of the water with that energy doesn't have much to travel to the surface. And in fact, we've already had a buoy, this is my concern here, that has registered waves of upwards of 38 feet. Now, that doesn't mean that 38-foot waves are going to arrive at the coast of Alaska. That's just an indication of the potential significance of this tsunami from the 7.9. So here are the warnings that extend across Alaska, the Aleutian Islands, by the way, and that goes all the way up across the Pacific Northwest. From there, beginning across the United States, that's where we have the watches that continue along the entire West Coast. This is basically just to play it safe. I think the biggest threat right now is going to be across Alaska. Remember, the tsunami is not one wave. It's a series of waves, and what happens is they travel at a very fast pace. We're talking 500 miles an hour. So if a tsunami has been generated, and I think we can pretty much say that it has, as a result of that buoy, it does not take much time because of the epicenter and the proximity and how close it was to Alaska here. So we should be getting information within the next hour as far as whether tsunami waves have arrived in Alaska. And then this is kind of what happens here in the next 3 hours. Any tsunami waves will propagate further south. They impact the Pacific Northwest, and then we're down the pike there towards 6 hours. So the main threat right now, because this happened underwater, is a tsunami. We're not too concerned about the shaking as far as an earthquake damaging buildings or anything like that. It was far enough offshore, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. But the tsunami is significant. By the way, this is as widespread as I've seen warnings and watches from an event in quite a long time. So we'll keep you posted throughout the morning. And
this is really serious.
Hopefully this doesn't materialize into what it has the potential